Secrets of quantum manifestation. By now, you might have heard of a quantum manifestation and you might be wondering what that is. So I thought I would dive a little bit into the more scientific end of the manifestation spectrum, share with you what quantum manifestation is, and give you a really solid tip to help you start to quantumly manifest things into your life. So if you want to find out what that is, then be sure to keep watching. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a mindset coach and spiritual business advisor, and you have found my YouTube channel where I create 2 new videos for you guys every week. I love to combine the 2 favorite things in my world, which are mindset and manifestation, and I use them both together to help you create your best life ever. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. So, as I said at the top of the video, today I'm going to talk about secrets of quantum manifestation. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I talk about manifestation all the time. And what that really is the art of calling in and creating results in your real life that are just, thoughts and desires in your head. But today I wanted to talk about quantum manifestation because this is such an important topic. And this is really a concept that I find so exciting. And I think it can really help you create better results in your manifestations. So before I go into the actual tip, today I wanted to start off with a little bit of quantum theory, which might be a little bit tricky for me since I'm not a scientist. So please, scientists, forgive me if I mess part of this up. But I want to talk today about the quantum nature of reality and how we are all living in this quantum field that science still can't really explain. So specifically what I want to talk about today is the double slit experiment and the observer effect. So these are 2 things that happened in tandem that have created a sort of scientific phenomenon that we as manifestors can really learn something from. So I'm not going to try to explain the double slit theory too much, but I'll give you guys a very quick overview. If you want to learn more about this, of course, you can go out and Google it. There are videos out there that will do a way better job than I will at explaining this stuff. Again, I apologize. I am not a scientist. So this is my very beginner sort of explanation of what the double slit experiment is. But basically, the double slit experiment was an experiment, or is an experiment that's conducted, which has a double slit. So a surface with 2 slits in it and then a screen on the other side. And basically what they were doing was projecting originally light. So they'd have a projector with a light bulb, have a screen with 2 slits, and they'd have this screen that they're looking at the results on, right? So on this screen over here where the results are showing, because they had 2 slits where the light was being projected, they expected to have 2 slits of light basically being reflected on this panel over here. But that isn't what happened. What happened when they reflected the light over there is that they realized that light is actually acting as a wave, not a particle. So what actually came up on the reflection screen was multiple stripes of light. So you shine the light through, instead of getting 2 slits of light, you got multiple slits of light. So that's already proving in a way that light is a wave, which is something that we actually already knew. So they tried to replicate this experiment. So they take a photon and have 2 slits and fire a photon out at each time through the 2 slits, and they were trying to replicate the same result. But what they thought again was going to happen is that they were going to get 2 lines where the photons, I guess, would come out, right? If photons are a solid object. But what happened again when the photons went through the screen is that they got multiple lines just like the light, which means that actually the photons are displaying signs of being a wave, not just a particle. In other words, being energy, not just a physical object, that is kind of a mind-blowing topic all into itself. So basically what they were proving is that things can be energy and physical objects at the same time. So that is a really important thing for us to remember as manifestors, and that really has a lot to do with the law of attraction, because of course I always talk about us being vibrational beings and how important our vibrational state is to what we are manifesting. Okay, so what we've just proved in that experiment is that things can be a wave and a particle at the same time, which is pretty cool. So the second part that I wanted to talk about today, though, is the really freaky part. And this part is called the observer effect. And so of course, when they were doing the double slit experiment, they weren't setting out to find the observer effect. The observer effect is what they named what was happening to them during this experiment. So what was happening was when they set up this experiment to have nothing measuring it, they could tell that the photons were acting like photons. They were doing what they were supposed to do. So when they conducted this experiment again, they did not have somebody in the lab. They just let the experiment go and they came back to check the results later on. So they should again be able to see whether the photons went through as a wave or as a particle, or if they went through and landed in the 2 slit spots or in the multiple wave spots. So what happened? It was not what was expected. So basically they ran this experiment a bunch of times while it was being measured, while people were looking, while people weren't looking. And what they found was that the results were completely inconsistent. And this started to really freak out the quantum scientists because it felt like the photons were actually changing their behavior based on whether somebody was watching or not. So think about that for a moment. The photons were changing their behavior based on whether someone is watching or not. So the scientists decided to get extra tricky and they decided to rig up some sort of experiment where they could run the experiment but not decide to check the results until after the photons had supposedly gone through the slit, so they could tell what happened after. And since they were recording it after the screen, theoretically the photons should have decided which way they were going. And what they found was that even when the scientists started watching after the wall, after the photons should have decided what they're going to be and how they're going to behave, the photons would still rearrange themselves to give the scientists the results that they thought they were going to get. So what was really freaky about that is basically reality was rearranging itself backwards in time to create the results that the physicists were expecting. So I'm going to say that one more time. Reality was basically rearranging itself backwards in time to create the results the physicists were expecting. So let all of this just sink in for a moment. What we have learned here is that something can be a particle and a wave. You can be a solid and energy at the same time. And we have also learned that observing an experiment changes the results. And not only does it change the results in reality, in current reality moving forward, it can also change the results in reality moving backwards. So hopefully that explanation wasn't too confusing. Again, I'm not a scientist, so it's hard for me to even grasp a way of explaining this to you guys. So hopefully you got the things that I was trying to explain in this experiment today. But now I want you to think about how this applies to your own life. So it's easy to see how the particle and wave theory, that stuff is pretty easy for us to wrap our brain around because I've already been teaching this, I'm already talking about it, I'm already talking about energy all the time. So hopefully you have a really good understanding of who you are as an energetic being. But what I want you to now start thinking about is the quantum part. I want you to start thinking about your expectations and your expectations about what you are seeing. So let's just talk about this for a minute and talk about how your results can start to change. So again, in this experiment, reality literally rearranged itself to match the expectations of the physicists. I know there's physicists out there that are gonna watch this and roll their eyes and say that I'm being ridiculous for trying to extrapolate these results to something else, but why wouldn't you want to try this? If science can prove that this can happen in a lab, why wouldn't you want to try to play with this theory in your own life? So why wouldn't we want to try to play with quantum mechanics and make things happen the way we want them to happen? That is, again, the whole point of manifestation, right? So the key takeaway that I want to give you from this very long-winded video today is that I really want you to think about what you expect, what you are looking at, and what you expect. Your expectations mean so much. You observing something and expecting things to happen might just be creating the thing you want to have happen. So I know so many people that I talk to, they always think that their expectations come true. I know that you probably think your expectations come true, and I know that you are probably right. But how can we all be right? Right? Unless we are all creating our own little versions of the universe, unless we are all creating our own little version of reality. And if we are creating our own little version of reality, then why are we settling for feeling less than in any area of our life? Why are we settling for not having a great job? Why are we settling for not having enough money? Why are we settling for a relationship that doesn't light us up? Why are we settling for anything at all, when all we really need to do is start to shift our expectations and shift what we are looking at? When we shift our expectations to be the things that we want, we will start to create those results. So when I say that, it sounds super easy, it sounds super simple, but honestly, expectations are just beliefs that we've held on to. And just like any other belief, sometimes beliefs are automatic, sometimes they are just things that are so ingrained into us, it is hard for us to let go and to shift them. So beliefs are something that you have control over. Beliefs are all up in here. Expectations are all up in here. And there is nobody except you that can go up in there and rearrange the furniture, so to speak. So I hope that that prospect really excites you just as much as it really excites me. And if you need a little bit of help in that department, I would really recommend that you come over and check out my Mindset Alignment School. In that class, we are going all into how to rearrange your thoughts, rearrange your feelings, and basically manage everything inside your mind. And once you have control over that, you really have control over your whole life. You'll feel so much more confident and calm about every single situation in your world. So if you're interested in that, come on over to the site and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. If you really like this video, I have a brand new training coming out this week. It is an ebook and it is all about secrets of quantum manifestation. So if you like this video today, then be sure to come on over and check out the ebook. And this is really going to take your hand and take you into the world of quantum manifestation so you can start to create your results today, easily, quickly, all the things. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really hope that you enjoyed this little look into the world of quantum manifestation and quantum mechanics, and I really hope that this has empowered you to think of yourself as the conscious creator that I know you are. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you know someone else that could use this message, please do me a favor and pass this along to them. If you want to watch more from me, you can catch my latest upload right here, and if you want to hang out with me for the long haul, you can subscribe right here. Other than that, I'm wishing you an amazing week of quantum manifestation magic. And as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.